letting the board run here for just a little while. And I thought you guys might want to have some fun just looking at what some of the signals on this board would look like. First of all, I'm looking at the main crystal right here, which is where the timing for the whole system gets generated. Let me see if I can zoom in. Alright. That's the crystal. And this frequency is 14.31818. And I got my frequency counter working here. And it says 315. Well, the scope probe could even be influencing that frequency a little bit, so I'm not going to mess with it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to touch the scope probe to it. I think I just killed it. I hope I didn't just kill it. Okay, yeah, I still get my screen. That's the oscilloscope. Alright, now all of the oscilloscope is a time domain sweep and amplitude, so it'll give you a waveform based on what you're looking at. So first of all, I'm going to look at the 1 megahertz that is generated on the clock chip, and you'll see that it's a nice square wave, and if you look at the time of that, 2 microseconds, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 microseconds. Yeah, you invert that, you get a megahertz. Okay, so that's a megahertz clock you're looking at right there. This is the main 14 megahertz clock, and we'll stretch that out. That's as far as I can go, as fast as my scope goes. And you can see that's just a nice little kind of a, see if I can turn this off, kind of a little sine wave on there. Alright, well that's just a couple of quick signals that you'll find on your chips. My board is working fine. I have my horrible monitor screen here that looks like crap, but it does give the main screen. What we're going to do now is I'm going to put this together and button it up, and we'll I'm going to power it down. Now that I've checked that it works, I want to see my heat sinks is getting warm, but that's good. It's taking the heat into the air. I'm going to turn that one off because it's kind of garish. Alright. Power supply comes out. I'm going to take, that's just sticking because this is carpet in the back of this thing. I got some alcohol here. Now this is 70%, but it'll clean off the gunk inside. As much as it needs to be cleaned. See if there's anything on the outside. Of course, we can clean the outside anytime. Alright. So this guy, let me turn this on now. I can leave that on for now. There's a couple of shields that come. You know what? I should clean those contacts while I'm right here. Somewhere here. have some very fine sandpaper, so I'm just gonna clean them off with alcohol. The board is all set, new caps, the heat sink glue is working. Alright, back to ground zero here. Put it in the right way, dummy. Alright, this head, I think mine only had 6 screws in it, and I found a little extra one. So I'm going to stick that up here by the connectors. Try not to, that one's got plastic from it, that one's probably stripped. Alright. And we will insert these guys. Front, because really nothing touches the motherboard here in the front. Alright. Just tighten up till they touch. Alright. So there. Motherboard is in the case, all the shields are out of it. They just trap heat. There's 2 connectors on here. I don't know which way this goes, so we're going to have to experiment. Let me see. I want the LED light. It's not really clearly marked. Alright, that was the right connection. Good guess, Bob. And this header has 1 pin blocked. And there's 1 missing on this header for the keyboard, so you can't screw that up. But don't make sure you don't get it offset by 1 or something goofy like that. Okay. Now, I don't think that RF, that's actually a ferrite bead to keep high frequency out of the circuits. Okay, so you can see the little hooks which are intact on this machine too. Come on, baby. Get back in there. See, that isn't right. There it goes. Push in on a little bit and she engaged. Alright. So, they call this a bread bin version. I guess being a European reference to this looking like a bread bin. I don't know. I don't know. What do I know? That's why I got the carpet on here to help protect the top of the keyboard and stuff too. We don't want to scratch that up. My screwdriver bit isn't exactly perfect for these bits or these screws, but all right. Let's wipe her down a little bit here. Again, we'll dampen up the cloth. A lot of guys, if these things are the old, more of a beige color. They, look at that, I can get my tip right down there and get the dust out of that groove. Who knows what kind of human skin cells those are. Ew. Alright, top of the keys. Really, this is in good shape though. Of course, the alcohol kind of disinfects. Nobody's used this in years and years and years, so I'm not worried about germs or nothing. Okay, one more test fire here. And then we'll plug it into the big monitor. Oh, this thing scares me every time. Alright, let's see. This is just a surveillance camera monitor. Alright, there's our Commodore screen. Syntax error. Uh-oh, the one key doesn't work. 2, 3, 4. Uh-oh. That's not good. That keyboard. Out to 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, whatever. Q. Q's not working. Maybe I haven't got it plugged in right. Alright. Time to troubleshoot. Got to open her back up, duh. Alright, well I've opened it all up again and I'm finding that I'm not getting any output until I get to the V. So from the C, F, T to 6, this side of the keyboard doesn't work. Like this. So I must have a bad wire somewhere. I don't know, Margot. It must be a matrix. So if one of the wires is bad. Now I've been wiggling this connector to see. And it's stuck on the question mark on the shift lock. So the shift lock doesn't work either. Great. I don't want to take that keyboard apart because they're miserable. So I guess I need to look at that matrix. So we got some more troubleshooting to do. Alright, well I'm not going to be able to do that tonight until I figure this, get the schematics that I need. Make sure I'm inserting that in the right position. Turn the power back on. We've been trying to troubleshoot this keyboard. And still nothing until I get up to 7. So this whole end of the keyboard isn't working. I don't know if I caught that on the other video. So I'll do it again. What I'm doing is I'm looking at the matrix printout of this keyboard. And according to the header, which is the big long one here, the letters are the rows of keys and the numbers are the columns. So when you get a contact between like 0 and A with a key, you should get a 1. Well, so if we do that, which I have already done, but I thought I caught you on video already. Oh, there it is. Okay. I'm just going to touch the first pin, which is A, which just touches the circuit, and then I'm just going to run my keyboard down, my probe down all the pins A through H, and you can see that I got an arrow, a Q, and a 2, and a space, which is an arrow, and there's a 1, arrow. These are run stop and stuff. There's your space, there's your 2 and Q. So see, I did get the whole first line associated with pin A. So I go to pin B, and I start in the middle here, and run my keys down, and there you go. I didn't get them all, but I got Q, I got A, I didn't get W and Z. Let's try that just one more time here. There it is. W, A, Z, S, E4. And there you go. 3 W, A, Z, S, E4. So all the inputs are working. The chip is decoding these inputs properly. I got bad contacts or a bad wire on these keys. So unfortunately, I have to take this keyboard apart. Alright. Well, it's getting late tonight. I don't know if I want to do all that. I'm going to get the Commodore unit right out of here. I'm not sure what's going to look like once I get the inside of this. It's a little scary. Am I still recording? Yeah, it's a little scary. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all these little tiny screws out. And I think I got a tip for that. That seems to be the right one. Okay, I'm going to take them all out. Okay, so I've got the first 21 screws out. I'm just going to see if I can peel this tape off after being on here for 35 years and plus. Look at that. Wow. Can you believe it? That's just a quick hold down. Okay, so I think this has a total of 24 screws. There's one more thing I need to do. I need to desolder. Just that this switch has to be unsoldered. So as soon as my soldering iron starts blinking, telling me that it's hot, we'll do that. And I don't need to, you know, there's those wires there. I don't know what's wrong. I don't know how I could lose the first 3 rows. It looks like ABC, which is pin 20, 19, and 18 on here, seem to be the rows that I've lost. So I've got to trace out the brown with a stripe, red with a stripe, and orange with a stripe. Oh, there's the red with the stripe. I'm not sure if that's a black or a brown. No, it's a brown with a stripe and orange with a stripe. So those 3 are right there. So that's loose. Soldering iron is blinking. Blinkety blink. Blankety blank. Grab the wire, heat her up, pull her out. Alright. That's the big reveal. Well, I can see the board looks like it's corroded or something here. You see those 3 traces? They're just totally, because it looks like the contacts on board itself are okay. But those traces right there, those 3 traces are melted away or something. So what I'm going to have to do, let me try something here. The keyboard looks really good on this side. I don't know what could have corroded those. Open. Just put this on beep. Now let's see where D goes. Okay, okay. See, there's A, and A goes right to that pad. And nothing. C is the top one, and that should go to here. So, if I do some things carefully, the problem is I have very little clearance for wires. There's the 2 holes. So the connector is up here. There's my, I might have to trench out those just a little bit, but I've got some, I've got to clean those with something. There, oh there is my X-Acto knife. Alright, we'll come back when we get something. Okay, so this might be hard to focus on, I don't know. But you can see corrosion has eaten those 3 traces away that I have cleaned off. And that one right there is the space bar, that's why that doesn't work. So what I'm going to do, sorry, I'm off this, is I'm going to run little wires from this point to this point, because I tested from these points to this part where I sanded them. So I'm going to have 3 little wires replacing these bad traces, and then we'll have to cover it with, I don't know, a little bit of fingernail polish or something to seal it. Alright, I'm going to put them on now. I'm just going to tin these areas, and I'll show you when I'm done. I'll try to zoom in for this a little bit. What I'm going to do is I got my very fine soldering iron here. First I'm going to tin these traces. I'm going to make sure, of course, that I don't short them together. Of course, that guy could run right over there. That guy's going to be alright. I'll put that guy there. I'll put that guy up there. I'm trying to separate them a little bit. It's like soldering a small PLCC or something like that. Where, oh, where's These don't need to be heavy wires, of course. That's why I've selected a little tiny pieces of wire here. And I'm going to measure them before I put them on, so that guy can go right up to there. Okay, put my fingernail into it. Snip him. These things must be done delicately. Alright. As the Wicked Witch once said. I probably should put a little bit of flux on there, which I do have. There's a little swab. Just a dab, just a dab. Just a dab. Isn't this riveting? No, it's soldering. Or as they say in Europe, soldering, which I guess you can call it whatever you want. It's a free world, isn't it? Alright, now I'm going to pre-tin these wires, which will allow me just to kind of touch them on there to get them to solder. It ain't going to be real pretty. Alright. I'm going to push him down with the blade while I heat it. Alright, the problem we need to be is just to be careful we don't make a short. Alright, so that one goes all the way over to there. Alright, there's one down. Well, we're going to do the same for the other three, or the other two. Alright, I got my three little wires attached. I'm going to take it back off again here a second. Show you what I did. Here's my three little wires. Luckily they come right under this turret and out of the way. And up far enough from the bottom that they shouldn't get pinched. Alright, so you can see what I've done. These traces right in this area were totally rotted away. I don't know what caused it. Somebody spilled, was it the Pepsi syndrome from whatever. Put that down snug. And now we have to put 24 screws back in, which apparently you probably don't want to watch me do. Alright, well, let's test this little beast. I'll take my optivisor off. I look like a geek with that on. my Commodore power supply here. I'll turn this off to start with. Got my monitor turned on and plugged in. We will plug the keyboard in. I don't have power on yet, so don't do this with the... And you have to make sure. Alright. We will make sure we get a power up here. Okay. Now I told you that screen is really crappy. So let's see what we get. Let's see if we get a 1. Hey, 1! 2. Or no, that's... Caps. Oh, shift lock is on. Alright. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, 0. Plus, minus, pound sign, English pound sign. And then there's clear home and instruction delete. I don't know what those mean. Okay, there, clear home and instruction delete. That worked. Get a little arrow. Yeah, we get the little arrow. How about a return? Bad syntax error. Okay, control. Control doesn't do anything. Q, W, E, R, T, Y. Okay, those are the ones that weren't working. Run stop, that doesn't really do anything. Shift lock. A, B, C, or A, D, A, S, D, F, G, H, J, K, L, blah, blah, brackets. Commodore key, does that make a symbol? No, it does not. Shift. Oh, it gives you the shift gives you the icon. Okay, there's Z, X, C, there's, yeah, X, there we go, V, B. Alright guys, we fixed it. Now we do have a 100% working Commodore. So, turn the lights back on, turn the power off. Alright, we're back with a fresh battery. And we tested this to make sure it works. And what I want to do is, out of paranoia, I don't like that Ferrite bead just laying around in there, flapping around. So I'm going to tape it up. Alright, that's covered. We'll test her one more time. Alright. Alright, guys. I'll turn the power off while I do this. I just don't. Something. I forget what that's called. Alright, we'll try her one more time. Okay guys, we got a screen here. We'll turn this off, or turn this off. We're gonna go try it in the big TV. Alright guys, here we are on my big monitor. And you can see that on my big monitor I don't have anything to run sound. So Commodore right now does seem to work. Let's see. I don't remember how to do this, so do I have to? Uh-oh. Damn space bar's not working. Shoot. Well, I gotta take it apart again to fix that, but anyway. I hear the dang cat tearing out the window. Alright guys, well, she works. I just gotta fix that space bar. Well guys, I'm gonna post this video now because you don't need to see me go back and go through this again. You saw the process. I got to go back and troubleshoot that shift key. I think what causes that is those wires are very close to the bottom of where the shift key has to hit the circuit board, and I might need to whittle away a little bit more of the plastic, make a notch so the wires don't have any thickness to hold the circuit board off from where the thing should contact it, because it does work. Screen looks pretty clean. Good enough for playing video games anyway. Something I can screw around with. Alright guys, well, we're going to fix that later, but stay tuned. This is all my Commodore stuff for now. I do have a 1541 floppy drive, the old Commodore floppy drive to mess with. If I can find some discs or something to run with it, or I may just troubleshoot it and sell it to somebody who needs it. Alright guys. Take care, God bless, and stay safe during this coronavirus thing. I'm going to be still working on the go-kart over the weekend. So I started changing the shocks and stuff on it, so I got to do some welding. That'll be a lot of fun. We'll see you then. Take care. Stay safe. Okay, sorry, I did come back. Watch this. If I hammer it good and hard, I get a space. So the space does work. I just have to go in there and make a little bit more clearance. Alright, that's all it is.